Yo, what's up guys? Cygnus here and welcome to another episode of Faction Ironman, the most inconsistent series to ever be uploaded to YouTube. Jokes aside though, getting wrecked by those dudes last episode kinda pissed me off, but I knew it was gonna happen eventually. I'm just kinda glad I got it out of the way nice and early, and I'm also glad I had an extra set laying around, enough to pretty much get us back to full T4. I think I've got to do a better job of setting goals for myself each episode because I wasn't really quite sure what to do with myself at this point. I head out to do a couple more dungeons with some, okay loot. Nothing that I can really use, but hey, it can be turned into materials, right? Finish the dungeon, there's a couple Thetford roaming around still, and I get a little scared, but I had the shield still, so I wasn't super worried. And then I think, well, there's plenty of Fort Sterling around, maybe I can rat some loot. I group up with a couple others that are flagged. I'm not super sure if this should be against the rules or not, let me know what you guys think. But I was trying to PvP with them, so I don't know if grouping with them is something I should do or shouldn't do. So I have a feeling it's like against the rules, so from now on I'm not going to party with anybody to PvP like this. It was kind of funny, I'm running around and I think I was the lowest IP most likely, sitting at 700, and I'm the only one that dismounts to fight. It's like, what are you guys doing? Come on, let's go. Some of these guys literally had double my IP, so I just said, nah, this isn't worth it, and dipped out. So I say F that and head back into a T4 zone to fame a little bit, but I was getting tired of getting outnumbered and being stuck in blue zones. So I famed up enough faction points to sell a heart real quick, and I really think about making a Fort Sterling cape here, but I was like, nah, I'll do it later, but it is on the list of things to make. It would probably really help me from getting stun locked into oblivion, but I figure we sell the heart and actually buy a new mount. We'll get an ox this time, and what should we name him? I know, Kristoff. Let's hope Kristoff is with us a little longer than Dan was. So take Kristoff out and do some skinning, and I guess tomes are on the loot table of boars, so that's kinda cool. Skinned until my knife broke and then headed back to town. I got back to town and had a small revelation. I could start my own guild. Now, why do this? Well, I can start creating my own crafting stations, and I didn't record any of this, but we ran into a small issue lately. There was no cloth refining stations at all in all of Fort Sterling, and this happened while I was trying to re-gear from that last death. I can also use the siphoned energy I get from leveling up the guild for things like runes and souls so I can upgrade my gear. Once I buy an island, we'll also have access to a chest, which is like a free nice big bank tab. I think I could even get laborers started, but that's a little ways down the line. So for now, I go out and grab a ton of ore and some T2 hide so I can actually make use of the T4 leather I just gathered. Here it is. I made sure to record this because it was a big deal. Every time I logged in, I would check the map, and if there wasn't any cloth refining stations, I would just log out. But here it is, the only one in all of Fort Sterling, so I was pretty happy about it. Not sure why I wanted to do this, but I grabbed some cabbage off the market and make some soup for later, and I wanted to be able to make gathering gear for later as well because it's going to help me so much. If you've realized, I've also been using goose pies so that I can get some sort of gathering bonus early on like this. And then I figured I'd just keep on gathering, so I'll head out to the Larch Road and gather some wood. And on my way back, I see a couple Limhurst fellas on Swifties. Now, they were on missions, so I really wasn't too concerned until they zoned back through with me. So there was initially only 2 or 3, so I wasn't super concerned, but they were on Swifties, right? So they can get ahead of me and dismount, so they can actually get their cooldowns to dismount me. I only had so many options of which way I could go, so I was getting a little worried. And then the bow dismounts ahead of me, and I had my gallop up, so I was praying this dude missed me, and he had horrible ping, or luckily I was just out of range, but he barely misses his rail light. Then the mace dismounts, and I see some names in front of me dismounted, so I try to veer off the road. They throw poison on Kristoff. But once I got my gallop back up, I was pretty sure I was home free. This frost player makes a last-ditch effort to CC me, and I nearly make it back to town. Does anybody else realize I don't get a bubble right here? It's weird, I don't know. I drop my stuff off and head back out to a different zone this time. And guess who I run into? It's these same Care Bear fellas. Now you saw how earlier they couldn't catch me or get much damage on, and I wasn't really juking or anything, so I was pretty sure I was going to be able to get away unscathed. So I start heading back towards town and there's already guys dismounted. Oh shit. He gets the freeze off on me and poisons Kristoff. They actually get me dismounted and I'm getting pretty nervous, but hey, I remembered I had abilities this time. So I dash and use my boots as well as all of my defensives at once, and I just make it inside the shield. Alright, so after that near-death experience, I realized I needed to craft some more gear sets because it was inevitable I was going to die again. And I figured those guys were going to be sitting around Fort Sterling for a little while, so I was like, screw it, let's go into the Black Zone. Back in the Black Zone. And no portal gankers, nice. Always snag that invisibility, well, because portal gankers. And I've been extra cautious, waiting like 60 plus seconds at the entrance in case I'm dove. All solo dungeons close in 90 seconds now, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. First bit of loot, a nice T4 hunter jacket, and I should probably start wearing leather pieces just because they have a little bit higher defense and some of the abilities mesh pretty well with the spear. It's all situational, I guess. In my next dungeon, we get a legendary chest, and the fight was actually pretty quick and easy. Let's see what we get here. Holy shit, a T5 Claymore, 2 pairs of 5.1 leather boots, a T5 solo map, 5.1 Night Helm, 5.1 Druid and Scholar shoes. Dude, this was a good chest. And it wasn't even the last boss either, but I finished that up and peace out, and I wasn't super worried because I was close enough to the portal, and we get back with no problem. See, the Black Zone isn't that scary. It was a pretty legit run though, with almost 200k worth of loot, and I actually made quite a bit of silver too. I figured we should hit some sort of milestone this episode, so I use all my runes to upgrade my spear and my torch to 4-1. This is going to help us in clearing quite a bit. I go and test the new spear out in some quick dungeons for some faction points and get a nice 6-2 bag. What the fuck? I head back out into the BZ and get showered with loot again. And I figure we can wrap it up there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all my loot. And thank you guys for hanging around for another episode. And don't forget to check out the public Discord if you want to chat and hang out with some cool people, including myself. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace!